friends, and welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you the simplicity of differentiating polynomials. This is an example of polynomial, and this is a quadratic, okay? It's a degree 2 polynomial. So I'm going to show you how to differentiate this using the first principle and a trick on how to use the power rule. Ensure to stay to the end because you have something new to learn. So let's do it together. Let me start with the power rule. Now, if you are to differentiate this using the power rule, what it means is that, remember, if y is given as x to the power of n, according to your power rule, what happens? Remember that your power rule is also your formula, okay? When you are asked to use the formula method, it's also your power rule. So if you are given this, it means that dy dx is equal to, use the power to multiply, you have nx, then subtract 1 from the power. So this is what you do when you are using the power rule, okay, or the formula method. Now let's see how to differentiate this. This is going to give us, this is y is equal to 2x to the power of 2 minus 3x plus 4. So what do you do now? Use the power to multiply. So we're going to use this to multiply this. So in that case, we introduce dy dx. Each time we start differentiating, you introduce your dy dx, okay? So use this to multiply. We have 4. Then we bring down our x, subtract 1 from the power, according to this. So we have 2 minus 1 will give us 1. And x to the power of 1 is same as x. I hope that is cleared. Use the power to multiply, which is 4. Remove 1 from the power, you have x. Then you have minus. Remember, here has an invisible 1 according to your indices, okay? Use it to multiply this 3. It gives us 3x. Then take 1 from this power, and 1 minus 1 will give us 0. Okay, and you know that x to the power of 0 according to your indices is 1. So when you have 3x to the power of 0, it means 3 multiply 1. And 3 multiply 1 will give us 3. So what it simply means is that this is the same as 3. I hope that is cleared. Now what about 4? 4 is a constant. And each time you're differentiating a constant, what do? This 4 means the same as 4x to the power of 0. Since we know that x to the power of 0 is 1, so it means nothing if we put x to the power of 0 here. Since 4 multiply 1 will still give us 4. I hope that is clear. So in this case, what do? Use the power to multiply, and 0 multiply 4 is 0. So it means that when I differentiate a constant, each time you differentiate a constant does not have a letter. So when you differentiate a constant like 4, it gives you 0. I hope that is clear. So can we gather what we have here now? It means that for us to differentiate this particular function, it means that our dy dx will be equal to 4x minus 3, and that is our answer. That is for using your formula or your power rule. What if the question wants us to use our first principle? Are we going to run away from it? No. So join me. Let's see how to do it. It's very simple. So we're going to do it also using the first principle. Now what happens using the first principle? This is what we are given as y is equal to 2x squared minus 3x plus 4. Our guide. Remember that for your first principle that your dy dx is equal to the limit of f of x plus h minus f of x as is all over the change as this change tends to 0. This is your definition for using the first principle. Kindly watch our previous tutorial, the link in the comment section for more on this. Okay, now this is going to be our guide. How are we going to apply it here? Very simple. First of all, bring down this your y, so we have y. Add the change to it. The change to this y is our change in y. So we are going to add change in y to this y. Bring down this y, add change of y to it. It's equal to, then we have 2 here, Let's assume that this is 2x. If it's 2x, our change will now, this will be x, then add the change to this your x, it will be x plus change in x. But since it is 2x squared, so we're going to have x plus change in x all to the power of 2. I hope it's making sense. Bring down this your 2, then for your x, add the change to it, which is x, change in x, then raise it to the power of 2. Bring down your subtraction sign. Then what we have here is 3, we have x. So we're going to have x plus change in x. Put it in a bracket. I hope it's making sense. Then bring down your 4. We are not adding any change because 4 is a constant. Let's take it again. Bring down your x, add the change to it. This is what you have. Is equal to, bring down your 2. This is your x, add the change to it, then square whatever thing you have. See how we did it. Minus 3, this is your x, add the change to it. This is what you have. Please put it in a bracket, okay? Then introduce your 4. 4 is a constant. At this point, what do? Let's simplify. So this is going to give us y plus change in y is equal to, this is 2, let's expand this. So what we want to expand is x plus change in x all to the power of 2. Meaning that this is going to be twice, so we have this. And let's expand this. Use x to multiply x. X to multiply x to give us x squared. Also use this x to multiply this. Remember, this is together, don't split it, okay? So x, we multiply, let's use dot for multiplication. We multiply change in x. Please put them together. Then this change in x will multiply this, so it will give us x multiply change in x, okay? Then use it also to multiply this. It means that change in x is going to be twice, so we raise it to the power of 2. I hope that is cleared. Use this to multiply this, you have this. Use it to multiply this, this is what we have. Use this to multiply this, you have. The dot shows multiplication. Then use this to multiply this, it is now 2. So this is what we have. So you see that these two are the same. They have coefficient of 1. So we are having x squared, add them together, the coefficients are 2. So you have 1 plus 1 will give us 2x change in x. Because when you multiply this, it gives you this. Plus change in x squared. So what it means is that if you expand this, this is what you get. So let's replace it here. So we're going to have 2 brackets x squared plus 2x change in x plus change in x squared minus 3 into change x plus change in x plus 4. Okay, so what do you do next? Let's expand again. So we're going to have y plus change in y is equal to, you're going to expand with 2. So 2 will multiply everything inside the bracket. So in that case, we are going to have, this is y plus change in y is equal to, 2 multiplies this will give us 2x squared. 2 multiplies this, 2 times 2 will give us 4. So we have 4x change in x. 2 multiplies this will give us 2 change in x squared. Okay, then use this negative 3, do the same thing, distribute it. Negative 3 multiplies x will give us negative 3x. And negative 3 multiplies this will give us negative 3 change in x, then plus 4. I hope it's making sense now. So what do you do next? The next step is to subtract. You have introduced your change. The second thing is to subtract. Okay, so let's subtract the function. Remember, the function is this. Let's subtract it from what we have. So this is going to give us, to do that, we make change in y the subject. So change in y will now be equal to, we have 2x squared plus 4x change in x plus 2 change in x squared minus 3x minus 3 change in x plus 4. Remember, this is positive, so if you leave this to the right side, it will be negative y. So we can replace this with the value as given as the question. So this will give us change in y is equal to 2x squared plus 4x change in x plus 2 change in x squared minus 3x minus 3 change in x plus 4 minus what is our y? This is our y. So let's put them all in brackets. So we have 2x squared minus 3x plus 4. Put them all in the brackets. So at this point, we are going to simplify. So change in y is equal to, we have 2x squared plus 4x change in x plus 2 change in x squared minus 3x minus 3 change in x plus 4. This subtraction sign will be distributed inside this. So it will make this to be negative 2x squared. This will now force this to be positive 3x. And this will force this to be negative 4. Okay? So let's see, is there anyone we can remove? Yes. This 4 we cancel this 4. Okay? Negative 3x, we cancel positive 3x. Any other thing? 2x, we cancel negative 2x. What this means that if you do this very well, obeying all the rules as you are doing it, at a particular point like this, some things can be eliminated. Okay? The essence of eliminating is to make the work very much easier. So ensure you do it correctly. Mind your signs. Students usually commit errors. Please mind your sign. Remember, these values are put in bracket. Most students will not use the bracket, and in that case, the signs here will not be affected. I hope that is noted. Okay, so at this point now, we can now gather it. You see, it's not very small. So let's simplify finally to have, we now have change in x, y is equal to, we are having this, which is 4x change in x. Then we take this, which is 2 change in x squared. What again? We take this, which is negative 3 change in x. Then what again do we need to collect? We are done with the necessary things. We have taken this, this, and this. Other ones were eliminated. So at this point, what do you do? Remember, when you are done with the upper one, the first is to introduce constant, which you have done. Subtract the function, which we just did. Then the next is to divide by the change. So we are going to divide this by change in x. Remember, we are looking for dy dx. So for us to have change in y, we need to divide by change in x. So divide each one by change in x. Divide this by change in x. So having done that, what do you have? You see that this can cancel. So we now have 4x plus, when you have 2x, 2 change in x squared, it means 2 times change in x times change in x twice. So divide it by change in x. This will cancel. So you have 2 times change in x, and that will give us 2 change in x. So for this will take 1 off. So we have 2 change in x. This can cancel this. We have negative 3. Remember, it is change in y over change in x. So to get our dy dx, introduce your limits. So limit as this change in x, as change in x tends to 0, what happens? Introduce your limit, then this will now be changed to dy dx is equal to, this will be 4x plus, this value will be replaced with 0, okay? So we're going to have 2 brackets 0 minus 3. I hope that is clear. Introduce your limits. Then change this change to dy dx. So you have 4x plus, this is 2 bracket, this is 0 minus 3. Okay, so what do you do next? At this point, you conclude to have that dy dx is equal to, this is 4x, 2 times 0 is 0, and we have minus 3, and this gives us our answer, which is the same with what we got when we use the power or the formula method. I hope this tutorial really answered a lot. Remember, questions, they want you to use the first principle. So that's the reason you need to learn it. Okay? Please, if these questions answered a lot of questions for you, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Let's know what you feel in the comment section. And also remember to subscribe to this channel for more are coming. Also share this with your friends and colleagues. And I'll meet you next. Till then, stay cool and bye-bye.